So I'll just have to fix that because I won't be able to look at that for the whole session. Not that I'm OCD or anything. So yes, I'm a consultant facilitator. A lot of the work that I do is in community engagement, and I have recently completed the course run by Paul and Peter in digital collaboration, focusing on the GroupMap software program. And I'm very grateful for the opportunity to practice again my use of this technology. Being a community engagement specialist, it's been quite challenging in Australia, as it's been all around the world, to engage people online, particularly those people from an older demographic who aren't necessarily, in Australia at least, used to spending time on computers, and our internet is in rural areas can be quite patchy. So I was very pleased to run a session which I shall just share with you. Oh, Paul, I think you need to allow me to.
Oh, I apologize. I'm going to put you co-host immediately. Yes, definitely, Jen. Oh, yeah, my fault. You're now co-host. Yes, you can proceed. And if you need to do breakouts, just let me know.
Yep, thank you. Oh, we won't be doing breakouts today. But I thought that it was useful when I saw this opportunity come up, look at a slightly different use of GroupMap than what you may have been talking about today already, and that is in community engagement. So this is a workshop that I facilitated last week with 15 community members, all in that demographic that I spoke to you about, and a lot of people who hadn't spent a lot of time, surprisingly, on Zoom and on other things. So taking them through the GroupMap technology was quite an interesting process. So I thought today that I would share what I did with them, and we'll have a mix of you playing with the technology as well as me telling you how we went about the process. So the subject area is a conservation strategy for Geelong. Geelong is just southwest of Melbourne in Victoria. I'd like to say that it is one of the best places in the world, but you will probably not agree with me, given that you're from everywhere, all over the world yourselves. But Geelong is a growing area, and there are a number of places around Geelong where residential areas are about to encroach on, and they have quite significant natural values. And when I'm talking about natural values, I mean environmental things that people value, aspects of the environment. And so this stakeholder workshop was to identify and prioritise some natural values. Okay, so let's get into it. This is the PowerPoint that I started the workshop with, and in Australia we acknowledge country, we acknowledge the fact that there are traditional owners, the Aboriginal people, and we always acknowledge what land we're meeting on. So in my case, I'm on Wadawurrung country, which occupies about maybe 15% of Victoria. And I always go through some guidelines, particularly with community members. Often when I'm working with members of an agency or a government department, they're used to meeting online. So I just give them some I suppose, ways of ensuring that everybody gets the most out of the meeting. I encourage them to use their video. Sometimes, in this case, I ask them to leave their microphone on mute, but often I get them to take their microphone off mute so that we can have a conversation throughout. And you're very welcome to take your microphone off mute today so that you can ask me questions, interrupt me, and so on as we go through this process. They're not used to using chat functions, so I let them know about that and various gallery and speaker view and breakout rooms, although we won't be using that. The agenda of the workshop, as you do no doubt, always do some sort of icebreaker and get people talking. And I usually try, particularly for community groups, encourage them to articulate what they hope the project that we're talking about will deliver, because that helps me manage expectations too. If they say, well, I hope that there will be no more growth in Victoria, that gives me a bit of a red flag that we can talk about during our discussions through the workshop. But at the end of the process, I like to come back to the list that we generate through this discussion, because it becomes a bit of a checklist then, and if we haven't checked off an item that was realistic but wasn't for whatever reason delivered during the workshop, we can identify how that will be resolved going forward. We're working with the themes in the conservation strategy, and these are the areas that I'll take you through, that I took them through last week. So what are the key natural values for the Geelong growth areas? What are the main threats to these values? Which of the values are the most important for the government to take action? And which would they like to discuss in more detail? And there are aspects of GroupMap that enabled us to get this information quite easily and quite quickly. And writing up the report is just such a breeze compared to the old reports that I've done in the past with face-to-face workshops and my earlier online workshops, where you spend so much time trying to pull together all of the data that's being generated and produce a report for the client. And then we're finished. Does anybody have any questions or anything, any comments before we jump in? No.
Can I just comment that business of the hopes, I think, is really very valuable, because, as you say, it's managing expectations, but
yeah.
it also it brings something present into the group if you share your hopes.
Absolutely. It takes them from the last conversation they had before the workshop started right into this subject area, and I can't recommend enough having a question like that at the start of a meeting, you know, whether it's with the community or not. So we'll get into...
Sorry, I have a couple of questions.
Oh, sure. Yep.
Thank you so much. Hi, guys. Hi, folks. Mike from Toronto. Nice seeing you all.
Hi, Mike.
Just was wondering how many people and what was the timeline for the whole event? Sorry.
Oh, great.
And
question.
I may have missed that. Sorry, I had sound problems.
No. 15 people, but over 2 hours. And I wouldn't make it much longer than that, particularly with a community group, because unfortunately many of us are used to spending a lot of time online, but community members often aren't, particularly in the demographic that I was discussing. And even then we had a break.
And Jen, when you were doing the expectations, did you get them to throw it in chat, or was it verbally done?
I got them to put it in chat, but not to press enter, and wait until everybody had finished, and I got them to put their thumbs up when they had finished, and then press enter all at once, and then you get this chat bomb of all of these comments, of all these wonderful hopes and expectations that we could go through. And because it's on Zoom, you get a printout of the chat. So once again, straight into the report.
Thank you so much.
No problem. Any others before we get into the group map? No. Okay, so in the chat, oops, just pressed the wrong button there. Into the chat, I have put a link. You can either click on that link, or if that doesn't work, you can copy and paste that into your browser. And that will take you, hopefully, straight to a group map that has 4 quadrants. Has everybody got that up? Yep.
I got that. Yeah.
Yep. Everybody got that? Is anybody still working on? Yep. Okay. That's great. So what I asked them to do is, and I showed them the screen here, and in fact I shared the screen to start off with the community members, but I asked them to put in things that they valued about the natural environment around Geelong, and we had four themes: native vegetation, in other words Australian vegetation, native mammals and birds, waterways, and native reptiles, fish and invertebrates. And I love the fact that you can put in some graphics there that help them, you know, I suppose connect with each of those things. So, and I'm going to invite you to take part in this. I've already populated one thing in each of those quadrants. If you just click on a plus, you will be taken straight in. Oh, look, and everybody's somebody's already put in amazing connections with nature. So we're off and running. So if you just want to click on one of those, just under the headings of native vegetation, native mammals, waterways, or native reptiles, click on that and just put one idea and press enter.
Can we put the equivalents in our regions, Jen?
Yeah, you can put whatever you like in for this process. You can put whatever you want in there. Guadarrama River, where's that one?
That's close to Madrid.
Oh, nice. Amazing connections with nature. Wild wheat. Who put that one in? Elephants. I wish we had elephants around Geelong, but they'd probably trample the birds, the turtles, the snakes, and the spiders. The Rhone. Oh. Potomac River. Where's that? Where's that, John?
That's Washington, D.C.
Okay, so getting people to talk about the things that they value. It was important for the strategy because the strategy needs to address things that are important in the environment, but by getting the community to be able to articulate their values was very important. So we might I'm just going to stop the clock there because we might just leave it there for the moment. And the next part of, if you recall, the agenda was looking at the threats to each of these things. So if I click on and I'll just share my screen. Oh, John, you can't get this to work.
No.
Have you?
All I get is an introductory screen, and when I click on next, nothing happens. So when you get your introductory screen, does it ask you to put an email address in? Yeah.
Jane, in order not to distract John, can you meet me in a breakout room and I'll show you?
Carry on.
Okay.
Great idea. Thanks, Paul.
No problem. I will put you in breakout 5 and I will join you there, John, and I'll
Okay, I think I'm getting
fix you. I'll try to fix whatever issues you have.
I've got it now. Thank you.
Oh,
you
he's
got
there.
it? Okay, thanks.
He's there. Great, John. Oh, well, I'm sorry I kept going there while you were struggling there. So you'll see, John, how people have put in some examples under each of those headings. I'm just going to share my screen here because the way that I got them to articulate the threats to each of these was to click on each item, and together we would talk through then what are the threats. So what are the things that threaten that value? The loss of habitat, habitat degradation, land development, pest, plants and animals, and that sort of thing. So we had a conversation about each of those values, and as they said, oh yes, the loss of habitat was important, is an important threat, or gee, hibiscuses are really subject to climate change, and really worried about weeds. I would do that with them, and then when I get out of that, you'll see that habitat loss, pest, plants and animals, and climate change appears in the as part of that value. So automatically they can see the values and then the threats to those values. I'll stop my share because you can go into those things yourself and just have a play around with those threats. This feature you could use for anything. It could be, oh, that's great, John. You could use it to identify who put up, they could put their name there, who put up each of those, or you could, use it for any other purpose. But I found that to be really neat, a really neat way of very quickly discussing with them what the threats to those are. And as you can see, Paul and John have discovered that they can put photographs associated with each of those. So John, your comment there, they're things that in terms of the way that I explained it to the community members, it was things that they value about the environment. I'm just responding to your comment there in chat. Today we're just putting anything up there, but certainly if you lived around how do you pronounce it, Paul? The Guadarrama,
yeah.
Guadarrama River, where you walk your dogs. Well, that river absolutely is a thing of value for you, an actual thing of value to you in your environment. High mountain forests, hibiscuses, yes, they are a list of items, but they are things of value. The next point, now, has everybody finished playing around with that screen?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna bring you to the next section, which is about grouping similar aspects. So we would go through each of the quadrants, and sometimes because people were putting it in individually without necessarily looking up, you often get some duplication.
Jen,
and I can see. Sorry.
Jen, sorry, just a question looking in the chat, and I kind of agree with just a couple of the comments. And one is, these do not look like values to me. Rather, they look more like a list of items. Can you talk to that?
Yeah, as I was saying, the way that I explained it to the community members are things that are of value in the environment, things that you value, things that you cherish in the natural environment that you want to have protected. So Paul's used the example of the Guadarrama. I think I hope I got that one right that time, Paul.
Yeah,
where I walk my dogs. That is of value to him because it is a treasured place that he walks. He would not want to see the area that he loves being destroyed by residential areas. So look, I probably agree with you, John, that a longer statement would be better, and we certainly encourage, and I'd say, well, what is it about elephants that you love, and what is it about the wild wheat? We're sort of short-circuiting that conversation a little bit today. So in terms of the grouping enables you to bring things that are similar together so that your list becomes shorter. And I can see here that number 10 snakes and number 4 down the bottom tiger snake is the same thing. So if I just click, you'll see that there are ticks now at the ends of each of the items. If I click on number 10 snakes and write down the very last item under native reptiles, tiger snake, if I group them together, if I click on the ticks there and then select group, and I can give that a title, and in this case I'll call it snakes. Press group, and snakes is now number 23. It's been given a new number. I'll just color it so that I can distinguish that against the individual items. So I might have, I could do white fish and salmon, for instance, and do the same thing. But if you want to play around, once again, they don't have to be necessarily similar items. If you want to just, click on a couple and group, you'll get the gist of how that part of the program works. I love the fact that somebody's put whale sharks in there, although I'm kind of glad we don't have them around Geelong. They sound a bit scary to me. Yeah, somebody's called that a test group, and then if you right click on that test group number 24, you can move it to the top, or you can change color, or you can take out the group, and anybody can click on the group name and see what was in that group just to check. So let me know when I don't want to rush you too much, but do you want to move on to the next aspect? Yep. Okay. So the next thing that I asked them to do was to rate each, and I'll share this screen again, and then let you play around with it, was to rate each idea in terms of the extent to which it should be a priority for the government to take action. So we've looked at the values, we've looked at some of the things that threaten those values, and then I asked people to individually rate the degree to which they thought that looking after hibiscus or looking after spiders in the environment or whatever should be a priority of government. So to give you a sense of how that works, if I click on our favourite hibiscus again, lovely picture there, I asked them to let me know whether they individually thought it was high priority for government to take action or low priority for government to take action. So once again, take action on what? It's hibiscus, and we talked through, well, what does the action actually mean? And it's about protecting those values. So if I take that off, and once you get into it, you find that you can just move each one to the degree that you want it to be moved. So I'm going to stop my share there and let you go in and just very quickly, if you all can just very quickly rate at least the values in that first quadrant. I'll you'll be able to see how the results look.
So Jen, I just had an idea while they're doing that.
Yeah.
If I can share.
Yeah, go for it, John.
Thank you. Thank you. It just clicked for me. A group intervention that I often run is called open space. Everybody might be familiar with open space, where there's no predefined agenda. Everybody comes in and shares ideas, and then the agenda is built. I could see this doing exactly, because I tend to use Miro or Mural or even just Zoom chat or like annotations in Zoom. I could see how, you get a room together and then exactly where you've taken us. Hey, everybody, please post anything you'd like to talk about. Post some photos, color code things. And then I often get that awkward, okay, now we need to sort and filter, so that the grouping would work for that. And then the rating, I usually have people just like raise fingers on video, that kind of thing. So yeah, this kind of dragging. And then now I'm making an assumption. My next step would be to take all the ratings and say, okay, these 4 got the highest ratings. I'm going to send you to breakout 1. These got the second highest ratings. You can all go to breakout 2. So yeah, this would work well for open space. Thank you.
Yeah, it would, John. And what you could do, where I've put threats, habitat loss, pests, plants and animals, that could be the name of the room even, so that everybody's able to see what breakout room to go to for their conversation about that. Yeah.
And I have a question.
Nice idea. Go for it.
Just in terms of when people start to prioritize, I always find, they're going from their own, obviously their own mindset and where they think things should be and everything like that. Do you ever decide on, here's some critical criteria, let's say defined by, okay, got it. So it kind of focuses people a little more, so we're not all over the place in terms of why this is a priority versus not a priority, right?
Yeah, and I normally would, and in fact, you can have a number of scales for each idea based on those, based on the criteria. In this case, the client was just interested in what are the values that are most important to these particular stakeholders that they can talk to them more about. So it didn't need. Well, I felt that it didn't really need those criteria, but certainly if I'm doing a normal prioritization, you have to try and get out of the subjective and into the objective assessment. And that's where having, you can have 4 or 5 little rating, what do you call them, scales for each item. And they can rate it against each of the criteria. I'll just show you what that looks like. Now that, and thank you for, while we were talking there, people have rated in different ways. Now that I've brought you to the results step, you can see each of the little vertical lines are one of your ratings. So you can see the range there, and then the orange line and the orange vertical is the average of the scores. And the report that you can get spat out, for want of a better term, you can have that prioritized. So in my very quick report that I did for the client, I gave them a prioritised list. These are the values that this group of people were particularly interested in talking more about.
And Jen, aren't we discriminating too much against the spiders because they get such a lousy rating?
Jen, I would have a question, if I may.
Yes, please.
Yeah. Do you have to prepare these 4 quadrants well in advance, or can you, in the course of a facilitation, decide on the spot to create that? Meaning that maybe the participant would have decided of 4 themes to address. Can you do that on the spot, or do you have to prepare this ahead of time?
You could do. I'll show you. I'll just share the screen quickly again. There we go. You can very quickly customize. So I can go into here and change the name native vegetation into anything that I want. So in this case, the client was interested in those 4, and it doesn't have to be 4, it can be 5 or, you know, 3 or 10 or whatever. But if you wanted to change it on the spot, that's all you would have to do, change that, press OK, and then back in, and the name would be changed. So
excellent, thank you.
That's one of the things I like about it too, is that you can play around with it very quickly and manipulate it very quickly. So there was, oh, sorry, John, yeah?
Would it be possible, supposing we'd overpopulated one of those sections then, that we could split that into 3 further sections if we wanted to?
Yeah, you could. And if you ended up like we did, we ended up with a great long list, for instance, in the first quadrant. Next to native vegetation, there are 3 dots. And next to waterways, there's three vertical dots. If you just click on that, that just enables and do show full screen. Then you can just tease, you know, you could just concentrate on that quadrant without distracting people. And that's then where you could separate them further, John.
Yeah, good, thank you.
And then the last thing that I asked them to do, so I'm actually going to get you to go backwards a step. I'm going to take you backwards a step because we weren't quite finished, even though I went to the last screen, is that I asked them to vote on the 5 values that they most wanted to discuss in a dedicated workshop next year. So the client's very keen to have very detailed conversations about spiders, who knows why, or turtles or whatever. And so to vote, you just need to click on a plus for the idea that you like the idea of discussing more. But once again, this could be a crude prioritization process too. And if you decide that you don't, you said you wanted to talk about spiders and your better judgment came into play, just pressing minus will take that vote off. And you can set it up that people can vote multiple times on one of these items. I've set it up so that they can only vote once, because it wouldn't be a very good list of workshops if one person said, you know, voted for spiders 5 times. I think that spiders were way more popular than they ever would be.
True.
So if you want to just have a play with that, it'll tell you when you voted for your 5 things.
And I thank everybody for voting Guadarrama before in the rating.
Yeah, only one person wants to talk about it in detail though, Paul.
I bet it's me.
So Jen, while they're voting, do you mind if I ask the process, brainstorm, group, rate, workshop results, is that modifiable? Or
oh yeah,
okay.
you can just do brainstorm and results if you want, or you could have I've called it 2021 workshops, but you could it's normally called voting. You could have the voting after the brainstorm, or not have any voting. There's a number of ways that you can manipulate it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Have you finished your voting?
Yeah.
So I'll bring you. You're right, Christiane. Yep. So I'll bring you back to that results screen again, and you can see I've advised, I would advise the client to certainly have a workshop conversation on high mountain forests, but probably they wouldn't need to talk about the Barwon River, even though that's probably the only thing on this item that's close to Geelong, on this list that's close to Geelong.
And congratulations, John. Potomac is going to be next also.
Yes, Potomac River has 5. And once again, the reports you get, you can run them off as PDFs, and you can run off one like this and with those magnificent pictures in them, which are quite appealing, but you can also run them off as Excel spreadsheets with or without the voting, with or without the prioritization, and of course with Excel you can sort it for any of the values that you wish.
Just a quick observation, Jen. Did you notice that the ones with pictures were the ones who get more votes for the workshop selection?
Oh, yes. Yes, you're right.
Except for Balarama. Except for
Balarama. And spiders. Spiders got more votes probably because I was disparaging them so much. But spiders got more votes without 3 votes without a picture. Do you find that, Paul, that's often the case?
No, I'm just making an observation, but then I realized Balarama didn't add not many votes, so that probably does not.
Yeah, I want it. Thanks for that picture. I wonder, that would be an interesting. I'm gonna watch out for that now, and see whether that is, because I suppose subliminally it enables you to connect more with that idea, doesn't it? Yeah.
So just make sure that we give opportunity for all ideas to have an image.
Yep.
I agree. I was more attracted to the pics, the ones with the photographs.
Yeah.
Yeah, interesting. So that process, we've whipped through it pretty quickly, because I know that there's some groups following me today, but that process took just on 2 hours with a 15-minute break. We did, of course, have a lot more ideas and a lot more values in each of the quadrants. And I went through the threats with them individually, because I thought that was probably one of the most complex bits. But for people who, I'll come back to what I said at the start, who weren't confident about their skills in IT, with a combination of me sharing and me guiding them through the process and them working with what's a pretty intuitive program, they were able to grasp it really easily.
I have a question, Jen. Can you talk to pricing?
It's not my program, and I have bought a license, but to tell you the truth, I can't even tell you how much I paid for it. It's a subscription, but if you look up GroupMap online on Google, it'll no doubt tell you on that. The course that Peter and Paul ran went over the course of 5 weeks, with the last week being an assessment. Oh, thank you, John, for doing that in the chat. And that was a separate cost again. And I think you could probably work this program out without doing the course, but I found the course just really easy. I'm a bit time poor, so I don't tend to spend a lot of time researching. It was just easier for me to do a course, and it was led so well, Paul and Peter.
Thank you.
Any other questions or comments? No.
It's, from what I've heard from you, it sounds very intuitive, easy to set up. Is that correct?
Yeah, really, really very quick. When you look at the amount of time that well, I have spent doing templates for workshops and PowerPoints and that sort of thing. I still do a PowerPoint just for the front, just the front part of the workshop, which is what I showed you before. But it really is quick, and what I really love is how quick it was to create a report. And you could, I converted the reports into Excel and gave some narrative around it, but you really could just run off the reports as the data and hand those over if you wanted to.
Jen, oh, may I? Go on, John.
Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to block somebody. It just seems to me that doing this in an open space kind of way would be, it depends on the group, doesn't it? It just seems there's a danger if you set up the categories to begin with, your 4 or 5 blocks or whatever it is, that you are already framing something in a way that is manipulative.
So a way around that, John, would be to just have one box and have all the ideas go into that one box.
Sure, yeah.
And you can do that. You can do just lists, or you can create. They call this a map. You can create maps that have like little post-it notes that are moved around.
All right.
Yeah, so I agree with that for the open space use. But yeah, I'd just go with one for that.
How many? Oh, sorry. Go on, please, Christiane.
Yes, some of us are facilitating in different languages. Does it exist in several languages, or is it only in English?
Oh, I don't know. Paul, does GroupMap?
I think for some of the maps that Jen has used, the templates already translated in 4 languages or 5 languages. But the program itself, I'm not sure, right? Because we are also not the makers of the software. We're just providing the training.
Paul.
I think Mike. Oh, sorry, yeah. Peter, were you going to say something?
Yeah, I mean, most of the software, the basic writing, the background are all in English, but actually you can actually do all your changes in Chinese or other languages. I use it for the China audience. So even like the title that she has, for example, I can change on to Chinese. So it's really look like translated, but you have to do a bit of your own translation. Yes.
Mike, you had a question?
Yeah, I was just wondering, in some of these programs, these apps, they have lots of templates, processes. Do you know if in GroupMap already has a series of templates and processes that you can use that have already been done or completed?
They do indeed. If I'll just share my screen again.
I actually just went where John gave us the link, and I saw templates already.
Yeah. So there are you can do all sorts of different simple brainstorms or SWOT analyses. I used a SWOT analysis with a local government group last week. So blank walls, different brainstorms. There were also noticed a PESTLE analysis and PEST analysis, the political, economic, social, and so on. Or, it doesn't have to be, as we were saying before, it doesn't have to be quadrants. You can paste ideas or sticky notes onto a set of axes.
And Jen, in terms of the number of people, I can imagine you'd probably want to limit how many people are on, especially if you're just brainstorming and then you want to start combining things and everything like that. what is your limit in terms of people or your upward limit? And timing, the more people, the more timing I imagine it would take to go through things as well.
So I'll answer from my point of view, and then I'll pass over to Peter or Paul. I facilitated a workshop 2 weeks ago with a group of 25, and I chose to set up 3, it was the SWOT analysis I just referred to, and I got them to the 3 teams, did it individually, each on their own map, and then you can bring together all of the results from those maps into one then to prioritize together and vote on together. So so one team in a breakout room worked on their SWOT analysis, the second team in their own breakout room did the same, and then the third team did the same, and then I integrated all of the results into the one map.
Sorry, the integration of the results, was that between workshops? Was that at the
no,
end?
you just click on a button. You just go to another map, and it brings all of the data from those 3 maps onto the one that then you can prioritize and sort and group and whatever you want to do. Excellent. But in terms of maximum numbers, Paul or Peter, what do you normally recommend in the training?
Sorry, Peter, can you go ahead on this one?
Yeah, ideally a good size will be 10 participants that will give you that space. But actually there is no other limits too, because we have our other peers who use it for hundreds. So like what Jane said, is about breaking up into groups, and do it. And one beauty about GroupMap is you can actually, Michael, that's a question. You can actually do it on the fly, the grouping. So the participants actually don't feel it at all. While they are doing it, you can actually group them together. That's the facilitation progresses. Now I have tried 25 to 35 using strategy maps, using pastel. Yeah. So what I did is, because this number is big, when I actually get them to group first, I have a lot more criteria inside to narrow down the choice. So when I grouped it's a lot more faster. So what I meant is it depends on the design, how you design it. Yeah. So if you don't design it well, even 5% you will struggle, right? Yeah.
So Peter, in your circumstance, what you did is you allowed people to brainstorm in their subgroups or breakout groups, and then you had criteria to help them prioritize. So it limited the amount of things that ultimately, when you came back to the main session, it decreased the number of options that you brought forward.
Yes, exactly.
Thank you. Makes sense.
And also Jane has demonstrated to you. Remember just now when you're selecting the values, you have that climate change and stuff like that, the fields. You can use that help you to kind of narrow down your choice a lot more faster.
This reminds me very much of work that I was doing in the 90s and the noughties, using what we call local visual thinking. But this is very interesting because obviously you have the advantage of doing it online and it's digital and automatic and so on. But at the end of the day, what you're after is what goes on in heads, what people can believe and what they co-create. And I can see this being a terrific tool. So thank you very much for sharing this and giving me the insights into what it can do. But a word you used earlier was integrate. And I think that there's a kind of thinking magic goes on where you start off with all these dozens of little ideas, which are fragments. And then when you integrate, it comes together all as one. And indeed, as Peter was saying, you can do this. I mean, I've done it using different media, but you can do it with an awful lot of people. You can get hundreds of people co-creating because you're giving them the tool and the method and the process and the containment for them to be able to think together. Thank you.
Yes. What I'd like to add on, what I personally like is, when you do on site, you're standing in front of your participants, you take out your post-it note, you ask question, right? Then what I'm going to do online, sometimes you're limited. So it allows me to kind of go behind the scene when I'm observing, let's say I go to breakout rooms, and even in the plenary sessions, I can actually work on it, or I can get my co-facilitator to design it while I have a conversation with them. Now, vis-a-vis, for example, a mural, I also use a mural, for example. You can't design on the spot because the participants will see you moving your cursor, you will see me using the frame, right? It's very destructive, but this one allows me, and it suits my style, for example, where I facilitate on the fly. I change the process accordingly what the participants is moving along. Of course, not the choice. The choice depends on the participants' criteria. Yeah.
We have 3 minutes to complete this, dear friends, because then we have another workshop with 2 other colleagues.
Okay. I just wanted to pass to John Hovel because you had a little. Oh, you're right, John. Your question's been sorted.
Kind of, and I put it in chat too. I guess I'm always interested in a group like this. I imagine we all are familiar with many different tools, so I listed a few out there. I'm just always curious to hear, like, what tools would other people compare this to that they've heard of and tried. Like I was thinking Slido, Mentimeter, Trello, was similar but different. Are there others that?
Yeah, I use one called Thought Exchange.
Okay. Oh yeah, I recognize.
Yeah, really like that for getting lots and lots of ideas. People rank them out. The top kind of, the most important ones go to the top, and then you can divide them into subgroups, and then get rooms as well. Assign people to rooms as well based on the most important ideas that get to the top.
Thanks, Mike, and thanks, Christiane. I see clock soon too. Thank you. Nice.
Okay, well, I think we might wrap it up there. Thank you very much for your attention and great conversation. I've really enjoyed it myself, and we never stop learning, do we? It is one of the wonderful things about being a facilitator. Thank you very much, and best wishes for your journeys going forward. See you.
Thank you so much, Jen. Round of applause. I think thank you for this generous sharing, and thank you all participants for your participation, your questions, your interest. We are fulfilling our goals. Digital Collab Bootcamp sessions are for your own benefit, and in case you need something out of GroupMap facilitation, Jen Lilburn is ready for your queries and your questions, and I'm sure that that's also the purpose. We can get connections happening here in terms of knowledge transfer among colleagues. Okay, so let's have a bio break, 5 minutes until the next session is coming up here now for Snowmobile Inc. It will be a co-facilitated session with 2 colleagues, 2 members, Academy members. And Jen, thank you so much. It was really great to have you in the course with us. And I love your style. I love your way of working. Thank you so much for your sharing.
Thank you
so much.
Thanks everyone. See you later.
See you in 5 minutes. Bio break.
5 minutes, right.
welcome everybody. I hope that we can start the session now for the subsequent, and Lynn is already here with us, and Jason, thank you so much for joining, and thank you so much for being on time. It's really great that we can still keep the same live feed on Facebook for both sessions on the bootcamp, and therefore create a unity of all the sessions. And thank you all participants for being here. So I think that without further ado, let's pass on to Lynn and Jensen, so we could be directed on the Snowmobile case.
Okay, thanks Paul for the introductions. Hi everyone, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Greetings from Singapore, wet Singapore, wet yet warm Singapore. I hope everyone's doing well. I hope everyone's enjoying the conference so far. Paul, do we want to give a couple more minutes for the rest, like Charlotte, John, Mark, Kadu, Gonzalo? Should we do that? Just a couple more minutes. Yeah.
Hello, Mark.
Hello.
Hi, you're in Shenzhen, China. Oh, nice.
Yes.
Hello, Charlotte.
Hi, Charlotte.
Welcome. So we really want to get everyone to get started at the same time. So let's just give John, Peter, and the rest just a couple more minutes.
Yes, and while we're waiting, maybe you would like to introduce yourselves, Jason and Lynn. Tell us a little bit about your backgrounds.
Sure. Lynn first.
Oh, okay. Hi everyone. I'm Lynn. I'm from Singapore. So I do facilitation, coaching, organization development work. Happy to be here, to be part of this conference. Jason, over to you.
Yeah, so I was originally from Toronto, Canada. I was born there, but I was raised here in Singapore. I spent more than half my life in Singapore, having worked in banks, and then now switched over to L&D. So I work for a company its mission is to professionally develop all the adult educators here in Singapore. So I know Peter very well. I know Lynn very well. I work closely with both of them. And just last week, I got certified through Paul. So he certified me, and here I am hoping to share some with you. And I hope you enjoy the next 1 hour we have together. So let me just share a screen. Sorry, Paul, can I share screen?
Oh, sorry, guys. I forgot to make you hosts. I will create you co-host in a moment.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you. Hello, Farah.
Hello, Farah.
Hey, hi. I just came in. I'm sorry, I had a busy day. I'm glad I just joined in.
And welcome Farah from India. It's so good to have a global coverage here in this workshop bootcamp. Thank you for joining us.
I'm so glad to be here, Paul. Thank you for the invite.
Okay, so here we are. Today, Lynn and myself, we are not just gonna demonstrate the key features of GroupMap. GroupMap is a very powerful tool, but yet we want to get everybody to also experience this successful approach in collaborative in a digital collaborative experience. So yeah, so we're using GroupMap. Today is the 21st of December. We here represent a company called Snowmobile Inc. We are a leading company in designing and building snowmobiles for several years now. We are an innovation and product development team from various cities, various countries coming together for the first time. We're going to use GroupMap, we're going to co-create, and then we're going to agree next steps in order to proceed with our product developments. Okay, so far. However, it's not as if COVID is bad news enough. We're now hit with global warming, Unfortunately, Snowmobile Inc. no longer sees the need to supply snowmobiles anymore. So we have all these spare parts lying around, and we need to quickly come up with a new product in order to save the company. So your jobs and your bonuses are really dependent on this, really dependent on the next 1 hour. All right, so we're going to use a GroupMap. We're going to try to create this safe, quick, collaborative meeting. We're going to show you the possibilities of what virtual digital facilitation is going to be like. We also try to get a sense of unity and identify key ideas along with that's aligned to Snowmobile Inc. Inc.'s values of passion and innovation. Okay. So just pause here for a moment. Any questions so far? Just feel free to unmute yourself. Anything about what we do? So we're all probably heads of some sort of department. So maybe John from Washington, his head of engineering. Michael from Toronto. Is that Toronto? Hey, yay, birthplace. Go Blue Jays. All right, so I'll make you a COO. All right, so everyone has a part to play. We are all a part of the innovation team. Let me just share this with you. I'll share one more screen. All right, so everyone can see my screen well. I hope this is okay. All right, good. I see some nods. All right, so I'm going to walk you through a couple of maps that we've created. Lynn and myself, we've created. We're going to get comfy with the first map. Just an introduction. It's more like an icebreaker because, like I said, we're all from different countries, different cities. However, we're the same team, but probably we've never met each other. So we really want to introduce ourselves and get comfy with a map. Then after that, we'll move on to the next map, which is more like a brainstorming map. It's just a quick simulation. Throw your ideas onto this map. And then we'll plot that out against a return effort matrix, which I'll go through later. And then we'll identify together quick win ideas, because we really need to turn this over, save this company. And the last map is more to collect feedback from yourself. Okay, so let me just. So all this while, I'll be sharing my screen. So you can do two things. You can toggle between what you see on Zoom, and at the same time, after I share this link, you can go in and key in your inputs. All right, so I'll try to, yeah. Lynn?
I can share it if you want, the link.
I'm good. Oh, okay, sure.
Okay. No, you do it, it's okay.
Okay. All right, so this is how we grab the link. Sure, we're all familiar by now. I'll stick it into the chat. So until everyone's ready, maybe everyone can just give me a thumbs up. Click onto that link. I know it takes a while to load up. So we have a very good number, 15. All right, Michael from Toronto, heads up. Yeah, thumbs up. Thank you, John. Any more from any more? Any more from any more? All right, thanks, Christine. I hope I pronounced it right. Just let me know if it's wrong.
It is Christian.
Christian, perfect. Thanks for correcting me. John, you doing okay? Yes. Miguel, thank you. Gonzalo, still loading? Yeah, still loading. Am I right? Gonzalo? Oh, Mark, thanks. Okay, just give a couple more minutes, because it's really key that we all start on the right foot together and just have this experience all at the same time. John, you doing okay there? Just shout out, yeah? You can unmute yourself. All right, Gonzalo, thanks.
I think they are there.
Okay, all right, perfect. All right, thanks, Farah. All right, good. Let's move on to our first map. You can see one, I share screen, but also at the same time, I'm going to bring all you to this step. Oh, I see some people doing it already. Thanks, Peter. So very simple, quick instructions here at the top. just click on the map. So I should see two names. I should see a pair of your names. One is where you're from and where you would like to go to when COVID clears up. So Lynn has done one pair, perfect pair. So she's from Singapore and she wants to go to where? We'll share in a little bit.
Europe.
Pardon?
I want to go to Sweden and Spain.
All right, good. I'm going to give 1 minute here. I'm going to start the clock. Just everyone, feel free to fill in your names, where you're from, and where you would like to go. So 1 minute. Yeah. And I have a toggle around this map. So after you're done, actually, if you think you want to be a little bit more adventurous, you can actually click onto your box, just like what Michael did. I think he did a comment. Did you have a comment there? Yeah. You can actually double click on it and you can add an image. Yeah.
His comment is, I'll travel anywhere.
Right. Right. I know how it feels. I know how it feels. Which part may I know which part of Toronto? I'm from Mississauga.
Downtown Toronto.
Downtown Toronto. Yes.
Roger and Danforth. Taste of the Danforth, my friend.
All right. Fantastic. Okay, good. Do we have, all right, time's up. Let's see if everyone's done. So if you can see my screen also, if you just toggle back to Zoom, I'm just showing you the participant panel. This is where we can get a quick glimpse of who's done and who's not done and who's responded, right? So this is just a quick glimpse. All right, so Mark is being, yes, John Ireland. All right, good. Lynn, you want to ask any questions? You wanna which one's for you?
Let's ask Mark. I'm interested because he's in Shenzhen, but he's from somewhere else. Where do you originally come from, Mark?
I am American.
I see. And you live in China?
Yes, I've been here for 20 years.
Wow. So you can speak Chinese?
会讲普通话.
Yes. So for our non-Chinese speaking friends, he knows how to speak a regular Mandarin. Fantastic. Well done, Mark. Thanks for doing that. So I know it's a little bit messy, but if you just hover over some of your names, they actually do overlay, right? So don't worry about it. Let's call out a few more, shall we? So let's do Gonzalo. Gonzalo, would you like to unmute yourself? Where are you from? Where would you like to go, Gonzalo?
Yes, I'm from Lima, from Peru, and I put I like to go to Cape Town, to South Africa.
Ah, Cape Town. Geographically, yes. You are correct. Not too far off. Not too far off. Lynn, you want to pick one more? Let's just do one more, and then we'll move on.
Okay, let's hear from John.
Oh, is that me?
That's right.
Okay, hang on. I'm a bit confused here.
No worries.
Somewhere
we found you.
I'm lost in my computer. I'm trying to find my way out. What do you want to hear from me?
Where are you from and where would you like to go?
Oh, okay. Well, I'm from North Yorkshire, north of England, where I live out in the wilds, in great comfort, I have to say. Where would I like to go? Well, I have a house in France. I'd like to go there, but it doesn't look as if I shall be going there for some time.
Right, absolutely. Thanks for sharing. Yes, we should stay safe for the time being. Just hold your horses. I'm sure things will clear up. I know things will clear up. Let's be all right. Hey, welcome, Jessica. Welcome, Jessica. Hello. So you can find yourself in the chat, the link. I hope you can join us, and then yeah. So we'll just move on. Yeah. So I think that's the international signal for move on. All right, folks, let's move on to the next map. I know we're all excited to start brainstorming. So let me just go into it and bring you all there. Good. So everyone should see a very pencil-like at the right-hand corner of this map. It's more like a canvas. So instructions very simple, right? So we heard just to give a refresher to people who just joined us. So we are part of Snowmobile Inc. We're hit by global warming. We can no longer produce snowmobiles anymore. We've got spare parts lying around. We don't know what to do with it, but an innovation team from different countries, different cities coming together for the first time using GroupMap. And we are here to innovate and think of a product that's going to save the company. Our bonuses and our jobs are reliant on this 1 hour. So you have 1 minute now, start brainstorming, go. So you have up to 2 ideas, right? So top 2 ideas at the top 2 ideas from yourself. Top 2 ideas from yourself. Just go for it. Top 2 ideas, yeah.
Jason, you want to hand the share screen to me?
Sure.
Thanks.
I don't know what's going on. And that's your screen. How do I get to my screen?
You click away from the Zoom screen. You go to the web page, the website that you're using. You can be Google or Firefox or Internet Explorer. When you click on the link in the chat, it will bring you to a website. So we still have Gonzalo haven't completed it yet. Peter, you have 1 more vote.
Oh my dear.
I mean, 1 more idea. Sorry.
Good. Some are very adventurous. I see images already.
Jessica, are you able to come into this space? Great.
See a lot of experts using the like function and using the comment function, using the paperclip in there. Yeah, keep those coming in. This is what it's all about, right? Not just description, but pictures and visuals help in putting our thoughts together and ideas together. So keep them coming, keep playing around with it. This is absolutely the environment to test it all out.
John, are you able to come into this space?
John Varney. Any more, Lynn?
Yeah.
John, are you able to come in?
I would come in if I knew how. I've got the screen in front of me. I can see this pencil. That doesn't do anything. How do I enter ideas here?
Okay, you go to the chat. That chat, there's a link on the chat. You click on that link. It will bring you to this. Are you able to find the website link on the chat?
Yes.
Yeah, you click on it and it will bring you to a web page.
Not again. Next.
And this is where we are. Can you?
So I've got the web page.
Yes. So we are here.
How do I enter ideas?
There's a plus sign here. You just click on it and you can add your idea.
Click on what, sorry?
Click on this plus sign. There's a plus sign with a box. You click on it and you can key in your idea.
Ah, okay. And that's isn't it? I mean,
Yes.
it's obvious to everybody else, but thank you very much for your help.
Yeah, you're welcome. You can click in, you can key in 2 ideas. Okay, I think almost everyone is done. John, you can click in one more. Yes, great, it's done. Okay, so now you can see that we have about 16 ideas here.
Yep.
So if you look at the ideas, are there any similar ideas that we can cluster together?
Digital snow and digital snowboards.
Digital snow and snow block. Okay. Here. Snow.
And then a lot of bikes. Lots of bikes.
And snowboard.
Okay. So this is what I'm gonna have you guys to do. I know you guys had fun with the images, but in order for Lynn to group them, we may have to remove the images. So can I have you guys to remove the image, just so she has some space to, she's looking for a check. She's looking at a check at the bottom right corner of each idea.
Yes.
So Jason, in order to group things together, they can't have images attached?
Absolutely, yeah. This is, that's right. So don't mind the image that you put in. Can you take it out? So and then I'll show you what I was referring to. Yeah. I know the images are lovely. I've registered them. I know everyone in this room had photographic memory, so we can visualize.
Thank you for spending time to find the images too.
Yeah. So Michael, you see that check mark at the bottom right? So that's what Lynn was looking for. So we'll undo the images for now. But I know GroupMap 2.0 is definitely going to fix this one.
Okay, what should we call this grouping? Digital snowboard? Is this good for everyone? Digital snowboards? Okay. Any other groups that we can form from here? If you have your ideas, wait, let me go back to brainstorm. I think I should let you key in your ideas because some ideas were missing, right? Yeah, maybe you can key in your ideas again.
It's like maybe entire ideas were removed as opposed to just the photo was removed.
Yeah.
Some may have done erroneously the entire idea. So let's spend maybe 1 more minute just to put in your ideas, or if you don't see your idea on it, spend 1 or 2 more minutes. We want everyone's ideas, right? So we're all in this together. We're potentially going to lose our jobs, but let's try to save the company, guys.
I think almost everyone is done, right? Yeah. Okay. I shall over here, grouping, and bring all of you here. Okay, again. So digital board, right? We grouped them already, digital snow and digital snowboards. What other groupings can you see from here? What other similar ideas?
I think electric kit bikes and electric bikes could be the same, or maybe not. I'm not sure.
What do you all think? electric bikes, and this one you mean?
Electrical motorcycles could be the same category. Yeah.
Everyone okay with it? Are we good? Okay. So what shall we call this group? What's the title for this group?
Electrical vehicles or electrical bikes? Probably electrical bikes.
Bikes. Yeah. Okay.
I agree. I agree.
Okay. So any others? How about this? Jason, shall we try it? Let them try to group themselves.
Yeah, why not? You know, Lynn and myself, we had a long day already. So how about we toggle and we're going to give you guys the chance to actually group them amongst yourselves. So maybe amongst yourselves, someone can take the lead and start grouping them.
Yeah.
But I don't think is there enough similarity to group them, dear friends. That's the problem.
Yeah.
You see, all ideas are so good right now.
Really?
Okay. Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
Could I suggest one group?
Yeah, yes. Why not? Go for it.
Yeah, because there are several proposals just to change the way it's moving. There is wheels on snowmobile, there is snowmobiles, there is another one, new engine multi-surface, meaning that we're keeping the same object, but we're just changing the type of support. Water scooter, snowmobile, wheels on snowmobile. Would you agree with that grouping?
I totally agree, and I already grouped it. What will be the name for that? New engines for multi-surfaces?
Yeah, multi-surfaces engine. Yeah.
Okay.
No, what the hell am I in?
Someone group this also virtual and augmented. Right. Let's look at what's here. Virtual ski holidays and augmented reality. Any other groupings?
Yeah, I think digital snowboards and virtual and augmented could be part of a same category of digital innovation.
Okay, would you like to group? Maybe Paul, you would like to group it for everyone?
Does everyone agree with this?
Yep.
So, okay, let's create a group here, digital innovation.
Oh, very good. Fantastic. Land moon rover. That's an interesting one.
Yeah, it could fit on the new engine for multi-surfaces, right?
Yeah, I think so, right? So maybe the person who suggested moon rover would like to comment more on moon rover. Who came up with moon rover?
Moon rover? So anybody would like to share with us what is that?
What moon rover is? Anybody?
Moon rover is what they use when they move on the moon.
Is that what they use on the moon? Okay.
Yeah, but we could imagine to have scooter with electric bikes, no? Because it's for the same purpose, sort of.
Yeah, fair point.
Unless it's not an electric scooter.
Moon rovers and what was the other?
Sorry, somebody was saying about.
I heard moon rovers, and the other one would be to move with new engine for multi-surfaces. I heard that, to group those together.
Yeah. And do we call them by the same title?
Yes, I think it's a different surface. It's the surface of the moon, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how popular would that product be, but we never know. Maybe get an order from SpaceX.
Okay, so I think we are good now. Everyone okay with the grouping now?
Yeah, I'm fine.
All good. Okay, so Jason, I'll stop share and hand over to you.
Okay, so thanks for that. That was very, very interesting. So next part of the map, or rather, we're going to proceed on to the next step, is really to plot this over the return effort matrix. So let me just bring everyone here and just shout out if you don't see a matrix in front of you that reads quick wins, major projects, hard slugs, fill-ins. All right, so just shout out to me if you don't see it. But otherwise, I'll just explain this very briefly, what this return effort matrix is. So as you can see, effort is the horizontal line that goes from low to high effort. So it really means resources, time, money, right? And return, is it low returns or is it high returns? As simple as that. All right, so we're looking at really at 4 clusters, at 4 quadrants. So if you can imagine, just starting from the bottom left. So these are just fill-ins because they are low returns, low on efforts. We're going to defer this. And then moving on to hard slugs, right? Hard slugs. So we're going to avoid these because high efforts, but then returns are low. All right, and then quick wins, and then major projects. All right. So I'm going to show you if can have everyone to just refer to the Zoom, what I'm sharing on right now. I'm going to show you guys the importation functionality between maps. So I'm going to import whatever that we've just grouped onto this map. Okay, so just follow me. I'm going to pull your ideas from brainstorming, right? We've got 5 ideas so far that's grouped, if I remember correctly. I'm just gonna put them in the fill-ins for now. All right, for now. All right. Okay, so here we go. So I'm gonna bring everyone to the next step, which is the position step. All right, so again, shout out. If you don't see, yeah, so you should have about, yeah, five or six. Yeah, that was right. So it's about 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, no, sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 ideas, right? 5 ideas now. So I see some people playing around with it, moving the ideas around, no problem. Just feel free to do so. But Lynn, you wanna,
yes.
I can take control. You just tell me where you can just lead them.
So yeah, before as you move around, let's have a discussion, because this is like we all should be involved in this whole decision of where which project we should kick off, right? So looking at, maybe let's start with new engine for multi-surfaces. Where do you think this should be put? Is it something that is high effort and high return, or is it something that's low effort, low return? Where should this go?
Well, it would be a return, but not a very good chance of getting it. I think it would be a long way to get there.
Yeah, no, I would disagree with that. I would think that it's a high return, but I agree to the fact that it's a medium to high effort. But I mean, we already have all the manufacturers to do it, so we just have to change some of it.
I see.
I agree.
So it's something of high return and mid.
Yeah.
High return and mid effort. So where should it go? Major projects, quick wins, or in the center?
Major projects, I would put it, but not.
Okay, major projects. Okay.
I'd say major projects, but eventually, once we get the templates and all the the specs, it's happening. Obviously, it's going to be less effort.
Yep, and we may move it over to quick wins, right? Okay, then how about digital innovation? Where should it be? Effort, in terms of effort and returns. Where do you think?
Lynn, sorry, I think that the new engine should be major projects, but not that with the same effort that, for instance, digital innovation. Digital innovation should be in the top, and new engine will be major project, but lower effort.
Okay. So same, also both under major projects, is it?
Yeah, but new engine will be with less effort, right? Because we already have the manufacturing capability.
Less effort. Okay.
Okay.
So I'll put it here more or less in the middle.
In the middle.
Okay.
Paul, I'm just wondering why you think digital innovation would be more effort than new engine for multi-surfaces.
Because we have no digital expertise as a company. We know how to manufacture well snowmobiles, but have we got IT specialized engineers? You know, AI engineers. We don't, right?
Oh, we might want to consult Miguel. Miguel is the head of IT, right?
Well, thank you for your assignment. It will cost you a lot. This is behind the curtains.
Right. Spoken. No budget for it, right? Absolutely.
Yeah, okay. Well, I think digital innovation is a major, is something that it implies a lot of effort, skills, new people hired, high skills people hired in order to, because we need to jump to another dimension in the company.
I agree.
Absolutely.
So this is something that I will place here as a major project.
Okay. Thank you, Michael. How about new engines for multi-services? Do you all agree? It's still here, right in the center between quick wins and major projects?
Yeah.
Okay. What do you think of scooters? Where should it go?
I think it would be comparable to where the new engines are. Because again, it's going to be new templates we're going to have to get. We got parts and everything like that. But it's not going to be a whole new like innovation or something completely new, as Paul pointed out.
Yeah, it's true. It's not what we normally do, right? And also we need to do different marketing skills for selling scooters. It's not the same. I'm not sure, maybe.
Yeah. Okay. What about the rest? What do you think? Gonzalo or John Hovell? What are your thoughts?
Sure, I'm happy to jump in. Somehow my sense was scooters are just barely diagonally to the bottom left of new engines.
I agree.
I'm guessing return, I'm guessing effort, but my sense is that's about right.
So is this place correct?
I mean, I would say I could not disagree with our chief finance officer, right?
Sure you can.
I thought I made him head of engineering.
I am engineering, but I'm multidisciplinary.
Right.
I would never disagree with that head of engineering.
Okay, great. So scooters will be under quick wins then. How about this one? Physical devices, electrical.
I think we should put those as somewhere bottom left-ish. They're a fill-in, I think, because they're not our core competence is something to do with mobility, and they don't quite fit there.
Agree.
I'll challenge that. I think we're in snowmobiles. It's fun, recreational. These are fun and recreational. So I think it's going to be definitely high return. People are going to be really excited about this whole new line that we're going to be coming out with.
With the climate issues, all electrical devices will be with high return, most probably, even if it's not very easy to do, but I would have it higher in the return.
Yes.
Okay.
And I'm concerned we're spreading ourselves too thin here. We can't. We put all of these top right. We're going to run out of steam.
It doesn't necessarily mean we're going to go with all of them, John. As the COO, we're going to prioritize. I just want to let you know that.
Oh, that's
Like
Yes,
that.
we will do some voting later on, but now it's really to have a discussion on where do you all think this of these ideas should be grouped under, in terms of returns and efforts. Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah, so where should this physical devices electrical go? Major projects?
No, not as a major project. I don't think that they would be that difficult to update. We have already motor capabilities, etc.
So it's quick wins?
Quick wins, yeah.
Maybe it could be quick wins, yeah.
Okay, sure.
I agree. Yeah.
Thank you. How about the last one? A new line of clothes based in our brand.
Change our machinery into clothing. I think it's going to be really tough.
what they call brand stretching, isn't it? And my experience of brand stretching is you've got to be really spot on with it. Later, once we've got those physical devices on the road and the scooters, and we're working on the digital innovation, then we can produce our branded clothing.
Absolutely, it's a fill-in, right, Mark or John?
I think, given the state of the market at the moment and the melting snow and the pandemic, I don't even a fill-in. It's a diversion.
It's an outslog. yeah, definitely. I agree.
But later, it will be definitely the thing to do.
Yeah, I see Miguel raising thumbs up also.
Yeah, it's in order to diversify your presence in the market. So it could be good, really good. Yeah.
I would tend to agree that it's low return, but then just to be devil's advocate, you know, the new generations, they call it merch, right? And merch is a big seller. So you can't predict the market, right? But yes, my hunch would be low return.
Okay, low returns then. So this is the final position of all the ideas. Is everyone okay with it?
I'm fine.
All good. If you are all good, maybe give a thumbs up, then we know you are all agreeable to it.
Yeah, Miguel, thanks.
Thank you, everyone.
Thanks, Christian. Don, thanks. Okay, good. Fantastic. All right, so let's move on to the next step. So if we remember the brief at the beginning, it's really the quick wins that we want to turn this situation that we're in over quickly, right? So again, I'm just going to do this importation function. This time around, I'm going to pull our ideas from quick wins. So follow as I do. So we have actually two ideas picked up in quick wins. And there we go. So let me just bring everyone here. So, right. So we're more or less there. We've identified scooters and physical devices as our quick win, but we're not quite there yet. So just a quick refresh. Physical devices, electrical is electrical kit bikes, electrical motorcycles, grass mower, snow removal machine, electrical bikes, right? And then the other one, scooters, urban scooters, water scooters. All right, so this part of is what we call the voting step. So you each have one vote. You each have one vote. So go ahead, cast your vote, click on the extreme right. You should see a positive sign, look for it. And yeah, just vote wisely.
Jason, you don't want to have a little like debate about which ones we think are really important just before we vote, just because some people will know more knowledge about some of these than others.
Yeah, good point.
Sure.
Yeah,
yes.
Sure, yeah, why not?
Okay.
Yeah, what are your thoughts around it?
Can we see what the breakdown is within each one?
Okay, I'll do it one more time. So you can just double click on it on your own, or just refer to the Zoom share screen. So scooters, we have urban scooters and water scooters, right? For physical devices, electrical, we have electric kit bikes, electrical motorcycles, electrical grass mower / snow removal machine, and electrical bikes.
I just think with the electrical market and, you know, what's happening with climate change and everything like that, I think there's so much more variety we can do. So as soon as we go electrical, we can do so many different things. And I think it really fits within the current needs now of society.
Michael, I'm sorry to disagree, my friend. I think we are desperate. We need results. Scooters will be the way to go. I will put all my votes, if I had many, in scooters.
Me too. We have one.
How about Gonzalo? You've been quiet. What are your thoughts around this?
Well, I have never used these snowmobiles, so I really don't know the product. That's why I have been a little bit silent. And so I have to Google the name because I didn't know what the meaning of that kind of
No worries,
thing.
no worries.
Gonzalo, don't waste your vote. Just put it on electrical bikes.
Excellent.
Yes, Gonzalo.
I will do that.
Your vote is sacred and secret, so vote wisely. So any other thoughts from the rest?
Well, I think physical devices, electrical devices are very connected, very close connected with the core business of the company. But if we need very low hanging fruits and high margin products in order to keep surviving, I think scooters could be the first option, but not taking our vision out of the electrical devices as well. But okay, we have to prioritize. So, and we need to eat every day, and so scooters is my proposal.
Scooters are already a very mature market already. We're just entering into this marketplace where there's tons of already competitors, whereas electrical, I think, is pretty new, and we really could, you know, ramp up to one of the top brands very quickly. Paul.
Michael, guess what? You changed my mind completely, because you're quite right there. Scooters is already a competitive market, and maybe if we are lucky enough to go and do these new products, will be different from the rest there. So I changed my vote.
You are a really good listener. Thank you so much.
I heard we closed a deal with Amazon for, you know, rushing the market, and so maybe we could take advantage of that, the deal with Amazon.
How about we have the only one, I mean, of course, we have Mariam who just joined us. So how about Christian? Yeah, I hope I pronounced your name correctly. I'm sorry if I didn't. Yeah. Yes.
Well,
what do you think?
I must say my first vote was for scooter, but after listening arguments, I moved to physical devices, because I agree, scooters, there's so many people on the market, and we can be more creative, more inventive with physical devices, electrical. Yeah, so I changed my vote.
He's disappointed
Okay.
that scooters would use our present technology, whereas getting into physical devices, we have to embrace the whole electrical battery-powered thing, which is going to be the shape of the future anyway. But it is a challenge that we've got to take up this new technology.
We're definitely up to it, John.
Ah, great.
Okay, Lynn, yeah?
Yeah, thank you, everyone. So now is the time for you to cast your votes. You can click on the icon and the plus sign, yes. And then you will cast your votes, and we will see the results.
I'm easy to convince, so I changed my mind. That's what.
I think the answer is pretty obvious. I think they have all voted.
Yeah, they have. Yeah.
Yes, they have.
Okay, let's take a look. All right. Okay, so let me just bring everyone to the screen here. So this is a screen that shows your votes. So everyone should see the next step. This is the action step, right? So it shows us very clearly that there were 8 votes amongst all of us. So yeah, everyone happy with this? So I'm gonna pass this time to Michael. Actually, he's the COO, and I heard a lot from himself. And him being the COO, why don't you take charge by clicking on the, so this part of the step is what are our next steps, really to identify our next steps. So maybe top 3 steps. So help Michael out. Michael is gonna click on the flag. If Michael, you could just do that for me. Just click on the flag. You can find what, when, who. So just top 3, the team is going to support you and just going to throw out the ideas of next 3 immediate steps in order to, develop this product of ours.
Ready to go.
Yes. So who has the first idea? What do you think is the first step?
Well, the engineering team is ready to design.
Okay. Ready to design. And is this going to be the full team of the 7?
Sure.
Excellent. And who's going to take the lead on this?
Oh, that's me for sure.
Okay, so John.
Yeah.
Okay, very good. When, John?
2025.
2025. That really puts us as a quick hit. Thank you.
Yeah.
Is that going to be January?
Sure.
2025? Excellent.
Sure.
Thank you so much.
And the budget is 500 million.
Okay. Well, we'll have to bring that to the president just to confirm that. But thank you for your input. Okay, what other actions? We got the engineering team ready to design.
Maybe we need to do a little bit of a market research on what will be the critical needs where you get to have a quick hit with any of these products. So marketing should be doing a little bit of homework, and I would volunteer to do that.
Thank you, Paul. And when can you do that? I mean, we do have, for engineering, it's not beginning till January 2025, but when do you think we should be doing the marketing?
I mean, if we want to give a turnaround to this company and survive, I would say tomorrow. By tomorrow we should start, and we should finish in a month's time.
Right on. Thank you so much. Let's go into our third action. What do we need to do? We got engineering. Kind of long term there, but marketing research begins tomorrow. What else do we need to do?
We have to think in setting up the manufacturing areas for.
So set up the manufacturing.
Setting up, preparing the value streams within the factories, and preparing all the flows.
Value streams / flows. Very good. And who's gonna lead that?
I can do myself. I can split my role as an IT manager with the production manager as well. So
we're so happy you're doing that. When can you begin, Miguel?
Well, after this is just right after the marketing exploration, maybe in April 2021. April 2021, yeah.
Okay, let's go there. I'm going to put you on the 1st. Okay, that's a Thursday.
Sorry, say again, Michael.
April the 1st, 2021, Miguel?
Yeah. April, yeah, that is great.
Excellent, thank you so much. Okay, folks, I think we have 3 actions now. What do we do?
Fantastic. Yes, thank you, Michael. Yes, thank you. Thank you so much, Michael. So all of you can just click on that flag there on the extreme right-hand corner, and you can see Michael so kindly put everything together. So this is really our action plan, and that really concludes our successful approach to our product development. Yay! Come on, just give me some thumbs up, or wave. Yeah, this is great. This is great. We saved the company. All right, I really hope you enjoyed yourself. That really concludes our session, and I'm just going to bring you spend one more minute. I just one more minute, and I really think this one is quite important. Just share some feedback amongst all of us, right? Amongst all of us, you have up to three ideas, so spend them wisely. One plus, one minus, and what do you think was interesting about this entire experience? Think of GroupMap, think of, let me just bring you there. Yeah, let me just bring you there. So you can see in front of you, it's really a PMI matrix. So feel free to key in. You have up to three ideas, maybe one plus, one minus, and one interesting thing that you found throughout this entire session. How do you enjoy it? What about GroupMap? Are you going to use GroupMap going forward? Did we save the company? Anything interesting? Just go for it. Let's just do 1 minute. Keep them coming in. 40 more seconds. Dialogues, conversations, key ideas getting written down. Yes, easy to use. Discussion before the votes are critical. Yes. Michael, you didn't need to do much persuasion. I can. New tools, yes, new tools, just ramping up, and how long it may take to do admin for these. Yeah. Some prep work, obviously, some prep work. I think the choices of maps are important as well. What we're trying to achieve, our objectives, our outcome.
We have some interesting ideas under the interesting column. How the team self-facilitate, interesting balance between structure and emergence, inserting pictures is easy. Yeah, the ease of moving through the process steps. Yes, that's the thing about GroupMap. It's very easy to move. Yep.
Okay, folks, thank you so much. A round of applause to Lynn.
I really enjoyed.
Thank you. We have to go for a bio break before the next session starts in a few minutes. And thank you so much, Jason and Lynn, for your sharing. And thank you also for facing the challenges of the unexpected, because when we had to remove the pictures, I already saw it coming. And but in the end, you managed really well, and that's life. That's what happened when we apply digital facilitation as well.
Thank you. Thanks so much, guys. That was great.
Thanks, Michael.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Thank you so much.
3 minutes bio break, and we'll be back here for the stage.
Yeah. See ya.
How long the time break? Sorry, I didn't get it.
It's 3 minutes. We are starting at 3 p.m.
European
CET. So I think our guest speakers are already here. The next guest speakers are already in the room. So 3 minutes bio break.
Breakout room.